Welcome back, American Family Radio Network, Financial Issues. I'm Dan Celia. I had a chance to catch my breath there and settle down a little bit. At the break, I could go 3 hours on this today, on the economy. I know you'd all fall asleep on me probably, but it's just, I don't, look, we're in this mess. I care how we got here, but the fact of the matter is we're in this mess. I just wish there'd be some recognition of it, and stop putting your head in the sand. And let's think about the American people and the American worker for once. And it's just so frustrating that everybody's worried about their business, their book. Everybody on Wall Street. Everybody on Wall Street's acting, this is just a little bump in the road. It's not a big deal. Everything's fine. I think stocks are going to continue to go up, and you got to be in the market. Really? Really? It's unbelievable. Anyway, let me go to Ben. Ben's calling from Virginia. Hey, Ben.
Hey, Dan. Can you hear me, Dan?
I got you, brother.
All right. First of all, I'm a first-time caller. I listen to your program continuously every day, if I possibly can, until I get out of range. And I think you do a marvelous service for everybody. You've taught me a world of information. I know that.
Thank you, Ben.
And I just really wanted to say thanks, yeah.
Thank you for those kind words. I appreciate it.
The other thing is I'm in a situation where I have insurance at my work. My wife, unfortunately, is in the situation where she is one of the victims of the part-time era, and I'm not eligible to put her on my work insurance, and we have been trying to look into Obamacare, which is extremely difficult, as you well know.
Yes.
And just wondered if you had any good advice. I think she makes like $150 a week, but we definitely need to get health care on it.
Yeah, I would probably tell you that certainly you can look at, getting a separate policy outside of Obamacare by going to United Healthcare and, a couple others. But, your option may be going to a, medical sharing plan, one of the Christian medical sharing plans. And I've done an awful lot of research in it because I personally looks like I'm going to be faced with that. I thought I had Aetna coming around, but, I've been uninsured since January 1st, which is the first time in my entire life I've ever been uninsured. I've started 4 businesses. I've had some rough times, struggled a lot, and have been wonderfully blessed as well. And even in those bad times, I've never been without health insurance. Here I am, an old guy, and I'm out of, I have no health insurance. And I thought I've been fighting with Aetna. I've gotten to their managers. They continue to lie. And even when I know they're lying, they know I know they're lying. They continue the party line. And I thought I had them coming around, but it doesn't look like it. So I'm probably going to end up on one of the health savings plans. So that's the only alternative. I wish every Christian in America would go on one of those plans and get out of the healthcare system altogether. Here's the downside to it. There is the upside is incredible. There's no issue. I'm probably going to go with Samaritans, but the others are good as well. But the upside is you're going to get all your coverage. Everything's going to get paid. There's not going to be any issues with that. They have no track record of not being able to pay or not paying for the issues. The only downside that I struggle with, I've got to tell you, is that it's a little bit paperwork intensive for me. I'm a guy that neither myself or my wife have a whole lot of time. Unfortunately, she's the one that's going to get saddled with most of the paperwork, but that's the only downside. I mean, the downside is, you've got to do your part, and you've got to process, the bills to the medical sharing company, and you've got to keep things in order and do all that. Now, I know personally some people, number of people that use these plans. They've got it down to a science. It's some of them. I have friends out in Kansas that have been using one of these plans for many, many years. As a matter of fact, he had a number of illnesses, a struggle last year, and but she's got it down to a science. She just has the flow of the paperwork down to a science, and I guess we'll all get like that at some point in time. That's the only downside. It's probably the only thing, Ben, that I can suggest to you, other than going to a lot of individual companies and paying a lot of money for the policies, or sticking it out and fighting with Obamacare, which, I just as soon see you do this medical sharing. So I would look at Samaritan's Ministries and MediShare, and there's others out there that you need to look into, and that would probably be the route I would go first.
Right. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope to see Obamacare fall apart, because I think it's just an atrocity. I don't believe we got stuck with this.
Yeah, I don't either, and I think it is, man. I think it's going to. I mean, it's slowly imploding, and the best thing that could happen is that it eventually does. But this is what happens when you have no leadership in Washington on the side that claims they oppose it. Well, it's tough to oppose anything if you have no leadership. It's like if General Patton said, well, we got to beat these guys, but didn't have the leadership skills and the abilities to wage the fight. So, that's what we have in Washington. So it's going to be tough to beat with all the spineless individuals that we have in Washington. Let me go to Janice in Texas. Hey, Janice. Janice?
Yeah, this is her husband, Jim. She had to leave, but I wanted to ask a question about ConocoPhillips.
Okay.
We bought, for our grandkids, bought some shares of ConocoPhillips several months ago, but recently it's been going down, down, down. Mm-hmm. And we'd wonder what your recommendation is on whether or not to sell it or keep it.
Oh, well, definitely don't sell it. If anything, I would buy more of it. Now's a great time to buy more of it. I certainly wouldn't sell it. I manage still some institutional money, and my ConocoPhillips position on Monday, I wasn't able, with the money that I had available in cash, wasn't able to double my position on it, but I increased it by about 25% on Monday. So, ConocoPhillips is a great company. It's a strong company. I don't know why anybody would sell it. They're paying a 4.3% dividend. That's a lot more than you're going to get in a CD or somewhere else. So if nothing else, you're getting some growth out of it by way of dividend. So no, I wouldn't even consider selling it. This Monday, it made it back on my buy list. So no, I wouldn't sell it at all. I would add to it if you can.
You would even encourage to buy more.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I would not sell it if you can buy more. Maybe wait until see if it dips down even a little bit more. But if you can buy more, I'd certainly do it.
All right. Appreciate it very much.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. 866-300-9298. Let me go to Bill. Bill calling us from Virginia. Hey, Bill.
Hello.
How are you, Bill?
Fine. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to offer a little bit of a different perspective on the discussion on the CEO report.
Okay. Bill, wait a minute, Bill. Devin, can you turn him up? Or, Bill, I got a bad connection, so I don't know if Devin can make you a little louder in my ear. Go ahead. Go ahead, Bill.
I'm approaching retirement. I'm 64 years old.
Okay.
My wife has had some health issues. She is not, without the Affordable Health Care Act, we would not be able to even get health insurance for her.
Right.
However, my intent has always been, because of the insurance issue, to work till until I'm 70 years old because I'm 5 years older than she is. At 65, I could get on Medicare, and that's fine for me. But we've still got her outstanding health issues to deal with. So that says that I've got to stay employed until I'm 70 years old to have health insurance through the company.
Right.
With affordable health care, I see the possibility of retiring at, say, 66 so that I get full Social Security and be able to afford health care insurance for her, whereas before I could not. So I think this 2 million jobs that is talked about in the CBO report, could that not be people who before would not even consider retiring now can either retire or go on part-time, thereby opening up jobs for younger people who are not facing retirement?
Well, I think it definitely includes that. I think it definitely is. You know, I have a friend who is retired from the banking industry, who works at Lowe's just for healthcare. So there's a whole lot of people out there like that are going to be in your situation. So I think that certainly is a part of the number. But I think the bigger part of the number is not that people are going to lose jobs. That's why I said at the opening, I was disappointed that people aren't bringing out the fact that these 2.3 million jobs that they talked about, they framed it in such a way that they said it's equivalent to losing 2.3 million full-time jobs, which means, and I don't know, they didn't say how they got that equivalent. So I don't know if that equivalent is based on 4 million, 5 million people that are going from full-time to part-time, taking the hours that they're short and turning it into the equivalent of 2.3 million. I don't know the math behind that, but I think it's pretty safe to say that if you take 2.3 million at 40 hours per week, it's got to be somewhere around 4 million people. So I think the broader point is that there is going to continue to be this situation where we're going to have more and more people satisfied with working part-time. So as some people that are working part-time, like my friend at Lowe's that are working part-time, will say, I don't need to do this for my health insurance anymore. Is he freeing up a job for somebody else? But he's freeing up another part-time job for somebody to work part-time. The point is, what we're going to see in 10 years, if we continue on this path, is a squeeze, and there are going to be the average income for a worker is going to continue to go lower. Now, inflation is not going to go lower. That is either going to, if best case is there won't be any inflation, which is unlikely, or it's going to go higher. So now you're going to have more people making less money. That's the point that I think has to be made here, that it is going to take an extremely fragile economy, extremely fragile, and exacerbate all the problems by making it worse. We're not an export economy. We're an economy that is dependent upon us spending our discretionary income. As far as the pre-existing condition, I don't know of anybody, myself included, that didn't see parts of this bill that should have been incorporated in some sort of healthcare reform. Nobody argued that we didn't need healthcare reform. Everybody got that, understood it. That's fine. Pre-existing conditions should be a part of that. And nobody had a problem with that. So I think that's wonderful when I hear a story of, and there's lots of stories out there, who have not been able to get health insurance that now have to get it at that. But when you say your prices come down for every one person that has their prices going down, there are 6 people like myself. If I were to stay in the healthcare system, my monthly premiums double. That's a lot of discretionary income, that's going to come out of the economy when you multiply that by a lot of people. We'll be right back.